We are not offering any rates. None of our numbers are going to be accurate, official, and guaranteed numbers. This is a podcast for entertainment purposes. And at the end of the day, we're just going to talk shit.
A lot of shit.
Can you believe we're actually here doing this?
Yeah, I do.
Like legit.
Because all ideas from you, as soon as we say, hey, we should do this, it just happens.
And some of them. The bad ones we may do like for 10 minutes or so and then realize it's not.
Nah, it's not a good idea.
I think
our greatest ideas come from drinking, though. Our greatest ideas
we were sober when we had this conversation.
We were sober. We've had some great business ideas that have come, full fold. But I think this one's the easiest one.
So far,
it kind of just came. I mean, we're here.
It's two of our favorite things. It's talking and spending money. I mean, look.
I'm in.
This is episode 1 of the Residential Remix podcast. I'm Dennis Stricker.
Derek Infiesta.
I think when we talk about last names, I think Stricker, I've always thought my last name is a great last name. But then I met you and I heard Infiesta. And it's, in my opinion, it's the coolest last name.
In Party.
I
finally decided to make our DJ company, Infiesta, and everyone understood. Then I was like, man, are they only going to think I do Latin weddings or Latin parties or a Latin DJ? Is he a Latin DJ company? And that was my always biggest hang up. The same thing with Palm Beach Uplighting, because Palm Beach Uplighting was like, do you only offer uplighting? And I'm like, it's a great name, but none of these really work. But Infiesta's work. But I've never called you Dennis. I think in the 20-something years we've been friends, I think I've called you Dennis a handful of times, maybe in front of a client.
I think once we got into the roles that we're currently in now is when I started calling you Derek, because I did call you Reflex for a long time. And I think when we're in a setting talking about something as important as real estate, we have to use specific names. But then we get in the DJ world and talking to other DJs, and we use their stage names.
Well, it depends on what we're talking about. Yeah, when you're with clients and we're with, again, we just kind of put our different hat on. Right. We get into, real estate, we get into mortgages and money. We, again, all of a sudden we went to college. All of a sudden we start using big words and talking about financing.
You went to college.
I went to college. But then we get into DJ mode and all of a sudden we start cursing like a sailor, start talking about, what we were doing and partying and bottles this. And it just becomes a different conversation, a whole different speed. And that's where we're hoping to bring, again, to this. We're going to talk about a little bit of real estate because that's what you do, a little bit of money side. That's what I do when it comes to mortgages. And just last week we did do a video like, hey guys, ask us some questions, give us some content to talk about. So we have, some information for people, make it a little bit educational, but also have fun. Talk about music too, because there's a lot of cool events coming out and we just want to give people some information on what's upcoming, but also kind of how to prepare to be an adult.
For sure. And I mean, while we are in this, and I'm going to use the real estate industry as a whole to kind of talk about both of our sides of it, because even on the residential real estate side, the real estate and residential mortgage side, they go hand in hand. Most of the times you can't do one without the other. So when I say the real estate industry, I am talking about your industry and my industry as a whole. But on that same side, while we do that full time, we are also running separate businesses most of the time together, where we do entertainment, events, lighting. We're not a lighting company, but we do all of those as well.
We've become not a lighting company to become a massive lighting company, which is kind of funny.
And I'm going to steal your idea eventually, and we're just going to call it the Bad Lighting Company.
The Bad Lighting Company. Thanks, Chris.
As like a DBA. It'll be one of our businesses, DBA, the Bad Lighting Company. But we do also stay pretty busy with those events and DJ stuff. So I don't think we could sit in front of a microphone to talk about our life without bringing in both sides of that.
Yeah, it's hard. It have to. It consumes me. It consumes our days. It's hard to sometimes separate the two.
For sure.
Which is why I love being self-employed in this aspect, because I can do both. And then one doesn't hinder the other. The times are also different.
True.
I mean, real estate's kind of in the daytime, banking hours, right? And then all of a sudden it's like 5 o'clock and you change gears. But mortgages never stop, because we get, I don't know how many times I get phone calls at, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock on a Friday or on a Sunday. I think people want to either prepare to look for homes. I mean, I think you find that, right? People looking, I want to see these homes. They don't care. We also have the other side of it where we're like, I need to start looking. I need to get ready. And people are nervous and they want to prepare themselves for, Monday and again, get hard and looking in the morning. I think it's difficult to manage that family time. We both have children, wives, and it's hard to juggle all the businesses, but I think you do a great job at it. I think we both kind of do a great job at it. We're able to.
I didn't know I was going to get all these compliments.
I'm going to feed it to you a little bit. I'm going to give you some softballs.
And then he's going to pull it back.
And then I'm going to pull it back.
I don't want this to just be another one of those real estate educational podcasts where we just sit here and talk about, hey guys, before you buy a house, make sure you check your credit score. It's not going to be that. It's not.
Definitely not.
No.
It's going to be a conversation, hanging out.
And if we get together, once a week, record 2 episodes, I mean, whether they be 20-minute episodes or, hour-long episodes, it's going to be as long as we need to take to get whatever the topics we want to talk about across to everybody else.
Of course. My birthday's coming up. That's a topic.
That's
a
always
topic.
That's a topic.
That is
so
a
your
topic.
birthday is October, and it is a topic in January.
For the month. It is because we plan.
We do.
I am a diva when it comes to birthdays. I feel like I'm still a teenager when it comes to planning a birthday party. It is the most important thing for me.
We actually planned your birthday on your wife's birthday.
In June. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
we were
sure.
sitting at brunch after your wife's birthday party.
Planning mine.
Planning yours.
That's how I roll.
Selfish much?
I'm selfish. When it comes to my birthday, I'm selfish. October is like my month.
And I'm like the opposite. I would just rather glaze it over. I've had 2 big parties. My 35th party that my wife planned for me was the surprise party at the Pinball Museum in Delray.
That was fun.
That was a blast. But do you remember how much we drank the night before and how hungover we were?
Yep.
And how pissed my wife was?
They were so mad.
Oh my God.
Where did we play the night before though?
We didn't. We went out downtown.
Oh, we just went out that night? I don't remember.
That was it. We had no excuse.
I just know coming and everyone giving us this look of death.
Oh my God.
Of why did you guys go out the night before?
So mad. But that, and then my 40th that we had at the house with the big inflatable water slide and everything, that was
fun.
That was the extent of the big parties that I've had. But yours is an event every year. We make a trip out of it. We have a great time.
Halloween Horror Nights is a staple. Yes. Though I did stop going when they took out the bars. I was disappointed when they took out the bars. I went on a boycott for a couple years because I was like, I'm not drinking this disgusting punch that they make. It was pretty bad. Now
that we've been back for a couple of years, though, even without the bars, I think we do all right.
Yeah, the pre-gaming helps.
Sure.
And then we go see Jan.
True.
Jan hooks it up at the Irish place. Okay. And then we just plan our attack accordingly. We have to go back and see Jan every time.
I think so. Last time we went back 3 or 4 times, even with the couple other spots that they do have liquor bars. There's Chez Alcatraz, which right now I think is still under renovations. We'll see if it's open by the time we get back there.
Hopefully. Crowds have been crazy.
Yeah.
Crowds have been crazy. JB just texted me yesterday that he went and it was open season. He said the most he waited in line was 60 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Even without a fast pass?
Without a fast pass. So I think there was a big rush in the beginning to see it, and then now it's just kind of going.
And I even saw something that said the alternative, but it was about the stayover group. So the people that bought the tickets.
Oh, did you see that?
Oh my God.
Bro, it was like 2.5 hours to get in. Made no sense.
Zero at all. Show up at 7:30, 8 o'clock like a grown up and just wait to get in on a normal basis.
I don't think we ever wait to get in. We get there at sundown. If you're in Horror Nights before sundown, it's because you don't have a speed pass. There is no point on going in there and seeing everything in daylight. It is a nighttime event. It is a scary event. Why are you there during the day?
No, I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see it. If you're showing up, you either have kids or no speed pass, and you need to try to make that. Yeah. But the passes were insanely expensive this year. $666.66. They did it on purpose.
I agree. But they're getting a little aggressive just as a whole. Not even just when you talk about the entrance tickets, the fast pass tickets, and then drink prices on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid you have a strong liver and need 3 or 4 cocktails to even start to get a buzz. Like, you're $150 in before you get through your third house. And it's just on top of that, it's $1,000 weekend for a couple.
All day.
Question.
And you're staying there all day.
Yeah.
All day. What are you doing in regards to real estate right now? How is your new business? Because you started, I guess you're a new company, started in a company. You've changed a couple of times. What were some things, or why did you change? What were some things that caused you to change? Because you went from one EXP, I think it was, right?
Oh, I started out with
Coastal.
I started out with the Coastal Real Estate Professionals, small boutique brokerage. And when I say small, it's just because we only had 5 or 6 agents under a single broker. So I started out with that company, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the small family feel of it, but I felt there was always going to be a ceiling where I needed to go a little bit higher than that. And I did. And I hit that ceiling and ended up leaving them to go to EXP, cloud-based brokerage, which if you're in the industry, you've heard of EXP, and everybody has their opinion of them. I went in with very high hopes of success with them, and it didn't work out the way I expected it to. So kind of before the other shoe dropped, I ended up leaving and joining a real broker, similar to EXP in the idea that they're a cloud-based brokerage with no brick and mortar offices, but still offer the same amount of support that you would get from a traditional brokerage as far as technology, brokerage support, mentorship. It's all there. And also the values of the company also, they kind of are in line with what I feel I would start my own brokerage and want to emulate. So it was a great transition. I've been with them for about 4 months now.
Okay.
And it's going good. It's going really good. I've kind of been thrown into doing everything myself. I have to get creative with how I'm finding business now. My sphere of influence, especially on social media, I feel like they're getting overwhelmed with seeing me. I put all the same posts up and the videos up, hey, don't forget, I'm a realtor. But you got into the complete other side of the industry. I mean, what was it that made you want to get into the mortgage side?
My brother,
Yeah.
it just kind of fell in. I graduated college. I had this plan. I had a freaking plan. It's so annoying because when I graduated college, everything was on a hiring freeze. The economy was down. It was 2007, 8-ish. Everything was falling apart, and no one was hiring freezes everywhere. So everything I went to college for which was international business. I went to a private college, and it was almost pointless because where I thought I was going to be working and who I was going to thought I'd be working for, and the reason I got my degree in business and the international part of it was because I wanted to study abroad. I wanted to work abroad, and that completely changed. And during that downtime, our DJ companies skyrocketed because what happens when people, go to that phase, they start drinking and partying more.
Yeah.
So at 21 years old, we were making $1,000 a night to DJ. I'm like, what? Why do I need a job?
I can do that.
I can do that. And then my brother was like, get your mortgage license. I'm like, all right, cool. So I took the test, passed it, no big deal. And then I realized how lucrative that business was. And it changed my life. And I started at the worst time, if you want to say.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been through the worst time. I've been through the best times. I've been through refi booms, the resets. And right now we're in a weird transition. I feel that with elections coming, I get a phone call every day. Our rates coming down. Our rates coming down. What are rates doing? We don't have a crystal ball. No. I do think that rates will come down a little bit, and we see them. I see the updates daily. That I think somebody's going to look like a superstar. I don't care which way you vote.
Agreed.
Doesn't matter. But someone's going to look like a superstar. So the rates are going to come down either now or after the elections because someone wants to win and say they fixed the real estate industry. They fixed the market.
Yeah. And when we started talking about what we're going to talk about on this podcast, I don't even think I want to touch on rates. How do they come up with the rates? Maybe we'll have an episode that talks about that.
5 minutes later, it changes.
Exactly. So we're not going to predict rates. We're not going to talk about rates. You're going to hear, do we think it's an okay time to refinance? Maybe. Do we think it's a good time to buy a house? Maybe. But it depends on your situation. Real estate it can't be a collective for everybody process or world. Like not everybody can buy a house. Should everybody be afforded the opportunity to buy a house? Sure. But there's also people that just want to rent for their whole life. And that's fine too.
Renting's not bad.
No, it's not.
We're both homeowners.
We are.
We're both homeowners. We're not pro anything because again, the more people buy houses, the more money you and I make.
Agreed.
I'm never going to tell you not.
I can buy a new, more expensive microphone.
Damn sure. Could have been the Shure mics. I don't even know. But you have to understand a couple things. Rent goes up and down, just like the market does. Right now, rents, I feel like it's tapering down. Do you feel like it's tapering down?
It's come down a lot more than it was in the last 6 months. I mean, we had a high peak of where rental prices were just, they were getting out of hand. They weren't justifiable, and they've come down, I would say, a solid 20-25%.
Easy part about renting that people say is, and I was a renter at one point, you were a renter at one point, is I don't have to worry about if the AC breaks. I don't have to worry about if the refrigerator breaks. You know, that's somebody else's problem.
That's right.
And there are people like that. You, my friend, are a renter.
Yeah.
You are a renter. And I'm not going to tell you anything otherwise, because last week my AC broke. Luckily, Julian came and fixed it. There's, you know, we get to the point where it's like, man, the couple $1,000s I just spent fixing that, or the couple $1,000s in doing landscaping or building, what did you just build? A gazebo, a pool. You just put a pool in your house. You know, it's like the things that we do and the money it costs. Home ownership is not for everybody, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to buy the house if you have to borrow money. Bond programs are there to help everyone to afford a house.
Yeah, 100%.
If the rent is higher than your mortgage payment, yes, save money. You're saving money.
Absolutely.
And if you had to borrow money from the government to do so, God bless you.
Yep.
But if you have to wash 100% of your account and you're breaking even or not, that's the scary part.
Yep. We've definitely told people you can't buy a house. You just can't. Like, you've looked at their numbers. I've looked at what they're looking for. And we also have to take into context, we live in Florida. And better yet, we live in South Florida. To someone who lives in the Midwest or even in Texas, San Antonio, house prices right now are amazing. You can buy a mansion, 4,000 square foot, 5 bedrooms, 6 bath. Huge.
But you're in the middle of nowhere.
Right. But you can get that for $420,000. I live in Port St. Lucie. It's very up and coming. We have a nice downtown area. There's talks about an airport. But the house prices up in Port St. Lucie, the average home price in Port St. Lucie is $406,000.
It's come up substantially.
It's substantial. And that's still a great price point because your money goes a lot further up there. But when we talk about people that can't afford to buy a house, we're talking about expensive houses. We're not talking about the $230,000 townhouse.
I think the cost of housing and what people make are not going up together.
Well, and this is where terms like inflation and recession, these are when these start getting thrown around interchangeable, because they don't mean the same, but they are kind of caused or affected by the same things that we're looking at. The prices of everything. A gallon of milk. I just bought a dozen eggs at Aldi. A dozen eggs was $3.19. And I remember, this is when we had the conversations of, I remember when gas was 99 cents.
And now we're showing our age. Don't let the grays kick in. See this gray right here? That's.
But I do remember not even 6 months ago, a dozen eggs was $1.69 or $1.89. I mean, just the prices of everything are going up. And you said it before. You said somebody is going to have to be a hero. And while we're not getting political or talking politics, there is going to have to be somebody who comes in and waves the white flag to say, this is just too much for the average American. The average consumer is just not going to be able to afford anything when their income isn't raising, like you said, at the same rate the prices of everything else are going up.
We're hoping to see rates come down.
Of course.
We're hoping. And then, that way we can keep it going. We're not trying to tell you not to buy a house. We're not trying to tell you not to rent.
Right.
At this thing, we're just giving you scenarios. We're just telling you that this is not for everybody.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, we value everyone's business and we value the opportunity that everyone gives us. We want to educate you, but I don't want to be the guy who puts you in a terrible situation and cause you to go into foreclosure or cause you to lose your home, right? Lose your car. You couldn't afford your car payment. Your car's repoed. So I don't want to put people in worse situations. So I feel like when I give them the worst scenario and the worst news sometimes, it helps them paint that picture. But at the end of the day, we want to sell. mortgages. You want to sell homes.
Absolutely.
And we want to get people qualified. I love the fact that when they say, thank you so much. I never thought I could buy this house. I never thought I could qualify for this house. And the programs that we have too, I mean, ITINs and the specialty programs, bank statement programs for people who are self-employed. We have such a big range of programs to be able to offer people. And then I think that's the most important part is placing your client in the right product.
Agreed. I agree.
Because not everyone qualifies for a standard loan.
Of course, yeah.
But we have a program for everybody. And I think the American dream is home ownership, right? That's what they say. You know, I hope to have a free and clear home one day. We have a plan. We talked about it. We have a plan. Kids are done. Eden's a sophomore. Man. Eden's a sophomore. When Mila is done, my youngest, when she's done, I think we're going to sell. I told her, we're selling everything. I want to buy a condo on the water. I want to wake up and smell the salt water and then have properties north.
Yeah, I agree.
Tennessee, the Carolinas, something upstate. We want to be able to see the seasons. I want to see the seasons. I want to be like, fall, what's the best place for fall? Buy a house there. Yeah. Best place in the winter, buy a house there. And I think I want to be able to do that and see all the seasons somewhere.
Damn. That'd be pretty nice. I unfortunately have a 2-year-old, so I'm probably still.
Well, who told you to hit the reset button?
That's a conversation for another podcast.
My brother hit the reset button in the 40s. Why?
I will just. I'll live vicariously through your travels.
Thank you.
And maybe I don't know. Maybe I can ship my kid off to her grandparents, and
the grandparents. You have great help. I've had great help.
That's right.
We both have great family support to help babysitters. So as we wrap up this conversation, because we could sit here and talk all day. We can talk. We literally talk on the phone about the same stuff all day long. You know, we do want to put out there that, the opportunity is there to own a home. Yeah. The programs are there. Yeah. And sit tight, if you're waiting to refinance, if you're trying to buy a house now and you can afford it, I'd say buy.
Yeah. Buying a house is going to be based on your situation. So it's not a blanket statement where we can say now is the best time to buy a house. It might not be for you. You might need 2 months to save up a little bit more money. As far as what our format for the Residential Remix podcast is going to be, it's going to be this. It's going to be us sitting in these chairs, sitting together, talking about just kind of what's going on in the real estate industry, what's going on in the world of the DJ, music, entertainment, event industry. It's just going to be us talking about what we love. I mean, we do love the real estate industry. We do this for a living, so we have to love what we do. We love DJing and music and events, so that's what we're going to talk about too. And
if people are tuning in and they want to ask questions, ask away.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about a topic, if you have an idea, shoot it in the comments section.
Oh, I love that.
Shoot it in the comments section. I think they should. You guys should
like
talk
and
about
subscribe.
this. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. So
definitely drop your questions in the comment box. Let us know what you want more information on. I mean, we have all kinds of questions that we got from social media, and we're going to expand on those to give you everything you need to know.
All right, guys, it's a wrap. We'll see you on the next podcast.